Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Reset Channel. So, today we're talking about timing. I heard this quote the other day, and I just have to share it with you all. And what the quote was is that no one is ahead of you. Let that sink, let that breathe. No one is ahead of you. Earlier doesn't mean better. So, one of the things that I feel like has been my entire life, and I am working on it, and I'm sure someone listening is working on this too, is that whole comparison thing. That whole thing of like, why don't I already have it? Why haven't I already popped off yet? Why don't I have the career, the money, the cars, the success, whatever it is? Why don't I already have it? Especially when you're feeling like you did the work, you put in your time, you paid your dues. Why don't I have it yet? And then you seeing people around you and you're like, how do you get on? They got it before me. So all of that is comparison. All of that is looking at somebody else's timing. But what really hit me is earlier doesn't mean better. And we've heard it before. What's for me is for me. But what really I had to let sink in was that nobody is ahead of me, because this is my life, my story, and I'm in my own lane. So I want y'all to think about this. Do y'all remember back in the day, there was, Flavor Flav, and there was a young lady whose career, popularity, whatever you want to call it, really popped. And her name on the show was she even had her own show, I Love New York, and she was called New York on one show, but I think her real name is like Tiffany Pollard. Tiffany Pollard in that day and age was pretty big, or one of the first people that really like do something like I would say memorable in the reality TV space. Then a few years later, there was Love and Hip Hop, and there was someone else who was named Jocelyn. Jocelyn was pretty big on Love and Hip Hop, and I think she calls herself the Puerto Rican princess. And then came along Cardi B. Cardi B like blew up everything. I remember her music was everywhere when she first came out. And she also was, we found her, were introduced to her, and most of us on reality TV. Now, all of these people were before her, but career wise, popularity wise, and probably financial wise, who's the one that really popped? It was Cardi B. So I just want to let that breathe too as well. Like all these people were earlier. Maybe they laid the groundwork, the foundation. I mean, maybe they laid the groundwork, but then Cardi B came and changed the game. So earlier, all those people earlier, it didn't necessarily mean better, because when she popped, she popped. And she had a very, I would say, similar introduction in terms of that reality TV space. I think it was like VH1 or something. So that's something to think about. Like, no one is quote unquote ahead of you, because your timing is your timing. So I had to put this out here too for all of my sports heads. Think about football, right? So when the quarterback is throwing the ball, if the receiver is not ready for the ball, he can fumble the ball, or he could get intercepted. So if that timing is not in sync, if that timing is not right, you lose the ball. You're not able to do what you need to do on the field. So that has been something really hard for me to like sit in, but I just want to really put that out there as I'm learning and leaning into that, this is your lane, your timing is your thing. So I want to ask you, please let me know down in the comments. What could you be maximizing in your now? What can you be doing in your now? Not worried about what anybody else is doing, anybody else's time, and not looking left, not looking right. They say, Michael Phelps said that's how he, was winning all of his swim meets. He stayed in his lane and did his thing and continued to work on himself. Laser focus on you. So my question to you, and I'm going to end it today, is What can you do to advance your ball?